Hello. I'm gonna try to find a better thing for y'all to sit in. Hold on, un momento. Okay, maybe this will be better. Better, yes, maybe. So if it's falling over, maybe we'll do down here. Okay, so so many updates for you guys. Okay, so I updated last on the Facebook group, I think. So currently I am finishing up some lunch, and then we are going to assemble this little phone holder doohickey, because guess who was like, oh, I'll go out of town and I'll be on medical vacation with all this stuff, and I will do live sewing. And then guess who forgot literally all of her camera equipment? That would be me. So I ordered this little thingamabob on Amazon, like a phone holder stand thing, and I just opened it and it needs to be assembled. So I'm going to finish my soup, I'm going to assemble this, and then we're going to get to some sewing, because I got some Happy Meal yesterday, which was really good, because yesterday was a total crap day. So I figure I can update you guys, because I know not everyone who's on Facebook is on YouTube and vice versa. So the last update that I think I gave y'all here on YouTube was when I was in the camper. We were getting ready to leave, and we had kind of a big change in plans, right? So I am currently sitting in our new to us, I should say, 40-foot bus. So last time we were talking, Corey and I have had quite a few kind of life shakeups and over the last few months, like 6 months or so, and we have just kind of reached this penultimate point, at least at this point in our lives, where we are like, you know what, life is too short. It's just too short, and we're like, we've had things that we've wanted to do that we've just kind of been putting off for a long time, or just, oh, we'll do that later. And in the last several months, we have lost family members. We have lost our very beloved dog of 17 years. Right after that, I have lost some people that it turned out maybe it was okay that I lost them, but it was still really hurtful and still a big, kind of emotional experience, and, frankly, just really crappy all around, really no way you slice it. And so there has just been a lot of loss, and it's just not been great. So we're determined to kind of make the best out of what we have, and like move on from this and try to turn 2023 around, because the end of 2022 wasn't great, and 2023 so far has been kind of meh. So top that off with I am on the road, not currently moving, obviously, to have all this dental work done. I currently have a set of teeth in on the top that are not mine. They are temporary. So excuse me if I sound a little weird, and if I do a few weird little kind of things, that's why. It's an extensive process. It started when we got here last month at the end of March, and it will continue. So I'll be here for many, many weeks. I am staying with my in-laws, and I'll maybe give you guys like a little walking tour here in a few minutes after I kind of finish my lunch and stuff. But they were kind enough to let me stay with them, and they have a really good dentist here who's more than just kind of a regular dentist, and he's handling my whole case. So the long and short of that is I've had 17 years of really bad dental work that I had done 17 years ago. It's been causing me a lot of problems all of those 17 years, and I've never been able to find anybody to be able to tell me why or how to fix it or what we do. And so he is really diving in and helping me kind of sort through all of this, which is great. And so that's why I'm here. He started some of his work, removed all of these old materials and things that I had in here, and so I've got these temporaries on right now to just wait for some healing. And it's a long process, and there's like a million steps. It's kind of like a home renovation. When you open up the walls, you don't really know what you're going to find or what's been going on back there. And so more stuff kind of keeps getting added and compounding, you know, the amount of work that we have, which is fine. We knew that going in. We were all on that same page, so I'm prepared for it as much as I could be. What I was not prepared for is what happened yesterday. So, I have been waiting weeks upon weeks upon weeks to get into a specialist here in the Valley. Prior to my leaving, I spoke with, there's like my dentist, my guy who's handling my whole case, and then he's got some specialists that he works with. So he and I, my dentist, talked prior to me leaving, and he said, I want you to go see this specialist. I know it's an added expense, but like we really need to do this. It'll make your, you know, overall health much better, which is why I'm doing this. It'll get you in a healthier place, but not only that, cosmetically it will look better because we're getting rid of all of these bad things. And I said, okay, green light, that sounds good to me, because my number one priority is my health. Number two is the aesthetic. Obviously, I want things to look nice, but it's really more about being healthy. So, I had to wait weeks. He said, I need to get a hold of this specialist. I'll talk to him. Well, this specialist was just dodging him left and right, took forever to return anything. You know, my guy is over here calling, emailing, texting, because, you know, they do work together. They know each other. But he just said, this guy's getting, it's really frustrating me. He's really hard to get a hold of. And so he wanted me to go see this specialist weeks ago. I'm in these temporary teeth, which are kind of like not bridges, but like set pieces. It's very uncomfortable. I can't quite talk right. You know, my bite's a little weird. Lots of things are off, and it's really uncomfortable. I can only eat soup, and very, you know, kind of like not chunky things. I can't really chew. So it's frustrating. And, anyway, I'm trying to get through it, you know, again, knew that going in, it was going to be uncomfortable. But this guy is kind of holding the whole process up. He's like taking forever, not responding to things, you know, not looking at my case. My doctor is sending him over all these pictures and x-rays and trying to have a phone meeting with him of any kind. And this guy just was like not having it. And I did ask my dentist, you know, are we sure we want to go with this guy? He's being really difficult. And my dentist was like, look, I know he's a little difficult, but he's one of the best. These other specialists I work with, he's the guy they recommend. We got to go to him. And I'm like, okay, I'll follow you, whatever you say. So finally, the date came yesterday, and I have to go to this appointment, and it was a pretty, you know, not big, but in terms of all of this big procedure. And I was really nervous about it. And again, I think to any of you, and really anybody, I don't know anyone who likes dental work, okay? Like, it's never good. It's never pleasant. It's not fun. It's often uncomfortable, and it's expensive, and there's a lot of like fluidity to it, right? Like, you just kind of never know what's going to happen a little bit. And so it's very understandable to me, and I think any normal person, that you would be nervous about dental work of any kind. And I always go into these things, you know, I'm trying to keep my anxiety under control. I'm trying to just, you know, it'll be worth it. These people are professionals. They know what they're doing. They're educated, you know, just trust the process. But rightly so, yesterday when I walked in, I was nervous, and not really any different than I am right now, but just a little nervous. You know, and he asked me from the beginning, he said, I kind of looked at your case. 17 years is a long time, you know. But then he kind of started in with some judgmental questions a little bit. Well, why did you let this go on for 17 years? And I told him the truth. I said, well, for many of those years, first of all, this happened when I was a teenager, so I didn't have any power to change the situation then. All I could do was go back to the dentist who had done the work, and I told him I had problems and that there were issues and it was painful and it looked bad, and he just told me, oh, you know, he gave me a lot of misinformation, come to find out many years later. So that was thing one. And then once I got out on my own, I didn't have the money to change the situation. I was a waitress, and I worked 3 jobs. Oops, the bus is shaking here because I'm running laundry in the back. Sorry, guys. The spin cycle. Anyway, I didn't have the funds. I just didn't. I worked 3 waitress cocktail bartending jobs to try to make my ends meet. And even then, I also took another job, just very part-time, selling retail to try to make my ends meet, you know, and I didn't have money or health insurance to fix this. Health insurance is still not covering it, by the way. Surprise, surprise, or dental insurance. So finally, when, life changed a little bit, Corey, took a different job, and that kind of changed our lives quite a bit, and allowed us to have dental insurance and health insurance and funds to be able to take care of some of these things. I also, prior to him doing that, got a better job myself in restaurant management, and so I was able to save some funds. But that took many years, and I've been trying to find somebody for about the past 6 or 7 years, auditioning dentists here and there in Texas where I live, to try to find anybody that I felt like I could trust, and I couldn't find anyone I could trust. It was a situation of, I would say, here are these problems. You can see them. I can see them. I don't know why they're here. Do you know why? Can you help me? What can we do about this? And they weren't interested in solving the problem. What they were interested in is passing me a huge bill or invoice to just put on new veneers, which is what I previously had. And I said, well, how do we know that's going to fix it? How do we know what the problem is? And nobody was interested in those questions. So I'm not going to pay all that money to not fix the problem. And I didn't want to make the problem worse. When it comes to, hopefully that spin cycle will be done soon. I didn't want to make the problem worse either. You only get so many chances with teeth. It's not like hair, it doesn't grow back. So I, was nervous. It's like, I can just leave it how it is, or I can dive into this and hopefully make it worse. And if I don't trust the dentist who's possibly going to make it worse, that they can fix it, that they can help me, well, then what am I doing? So, in a much shorter version, I told him that, look, I didn't have the funds, I was too young, I couldn't find a dentist I trusted, and now I'm finally here, I have a dentist I trust, and he sent me to you. So that's why 17 years, I didn't know how to fix this. I didn't know what to do. I needed a dentist to tell me, go here. This will help. This will fix it. That's, I'm not a dentist. So, he was really kind of judgmental about that. And then he was really dismissive too. He kept asking me questions. And then if I would try to answer, he would just, oh, no, that's unrelated. I don't need to hear about that. That's totally different. He kept doing that to me prior to starting this surgery. And his bedside manner was not helpful, but I was just thinking, okay, look, I don't really care about his bedside manner. He doesn't have to be my friend. I'm here to pay him for a service that he is supposedly the best at. So I need him to, just get this done. So I'm just going to answer the questions. I'm just going to try to deal with it. But honestly, he was not helping my nerves in any way. And I was just, sitting there, hands in my lap, yes, sir, no, sir, just trying to get this done. I let him know prior to calling, and even like a normal person might take 15 minutes for them to take effect, you take about a half hour, and then my window for working with you is very short if I don't keep giving you shots. You start to feel things really quickly. And the term they've used for that with me is that you metabolize quickly, is what they say. So I let him know, hey, I just, this is something that, we'll need to possibly deal with. It takes a lot for me to get numb. It takes a while, and then the window's pretty short. And they were also dismissive of that, which should have been my red flag from the beginning, because it was, oh, well, other surgeons are just so much slower. But this surgeon, he's much faster, so he won't have that problem. And I thought, okay. And I also said, I do tend to be a little anxious because I've had kind of some dental trauma in the past and some issues. Is there any way we can do an anesthesiologist, or possibly what they call conscious sedation? I've done that before. Any of those things, I'm happy to pay for and have, because I think it'll make the experience better for everybody. We're also dismissive of that. Oh no, we do this all the time. Nobody needs that. If you can handle a regular dental appointment, you can handle this. And I said, okay, well, I'm trusting you, but I'm just letting you know, trying to be fully transparent, and make this go smooth. So then I get there yesterday, and like I said, he was just being incredibly dismissive and just frankly really short with me and really rude. And he flat asked me, are you nervous? And I said, I am a little nervous. Yeah, it's, somebody coming at my face with a laser, and you're taking a lot of tissue off, and, I trust you, but yeah, I'm nervous, and I don't get numb very easy, and so I'm scared it might hurt, and I just hope that the results are good. I was very transparent about my feelings. And he just, medically, we do need him to do some specific things for us. But again, the doctor, he was very dismissive. He didn't want to see any of the pictures. He didn't want to hear me about any of that stuff. He just did not, no, I don't want to, nope, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. He was so dismissive, and I just thought, okay, well, he knows better, so we'll do what he says. So he gives me a whole bunch of shots, seemed like a lot, but come to find out it was the wrong anesthetic. My dentist, I found this out later, had let him know, hey, by the way, I use this chemical on her, and it's a heavy hitter chemical, but it works much better. So you really need to use that, because I've tried the other stuff on her and it doesn't work very well. So he told that dentist. I was not aware of that, and I didn't even know that he used a different chemical on me. I found this out after the fact. So he told specialist guy, hey, you need to use this chemical. It's really important that you do that. And apparently this guy did not listen. So he was using average whatever stuff. He's giving me a whole bunch of shots all across my mouth, and he says, I'm going to leave you for 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm thinking, well, that's probably not enough time, like I told you, because that never seems to work, but okay, we'll just figure it out. What usually ends up happening to me at the dentist is they come back and they poke around a little, and I go, ow, and they go, you can feel that? And I say, I can feel all that. They go, oh, okay, well, I guess we need to give you some more shots and leave you for longer. That's always what happens. So I thought, that's going to be what's going to happen. We'll just have to do some more and wait a little longer. So he leaves me, comes back, he pokes around a bit. I tell him I can still feel things. Well, okay, we're going to give you a few more shots. So he gives me a few more shots, but then he just immediately starts working. And I'm thinking, oh, that's going to be, I hope I don't feel it, you know. So he tips me back, you know, and he's got my mouth all open. And he tells me, he starts, you know, working, and he's using a laser, and he's cutting away, you know, tissue up in my gums and upper mouth area and all this. And he says, well, you're doing perfect. You know, do just like that. Lay super still and just, you know, just relax. Don't be nervous. And of course, I'm sitting down there. I mean, I'm totally nervous, and I can feel everything, and it hurts. It's a laser. It's burning, and I can feel it. And not only can I feel it up here where he's working, but I can feel it all through my upper jaw. It's radiating pain and throbbing. And I'm like, okay, you know, laying there, and I mean, I'm petrified, because I'm thinking, oh my God, please let these drugs, you know, work. And I have a pretty high pain tolerance from what I've been told. So it's hurting, but I'm laying there, I'm trying to get through it. And, you know, the other thing is you're really numbed up here. So your nose and like kind of up to your eyes, really, it gets very numb in here. Sometimes even the tips of my ears will end up numb just from where they put it. And so it's kind of hard to breathe through your nose, because you really can't feel anything, and it feels like your nose is clogged, but it's not. It's just that you can't feel your nose. So you automatically want to breathe through your mouth, and you have your mouth open, you know, you're laying there. And I'm laying there, and he's working, you know, I'm looking up, obviously laying down. And I mean, it was hurting a lot as he was going, and I kind of breathed in a little bit and went like that. I made like a very slight little noise. And he stopped, and he looked down at me, and he just said, are you okay down there? And I said, well, I can feel it, and it does hurt quite a bit. And, you know, I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying. And all of a sudden he got really mad at me, and he just goes, well, if you're going to make disapproving noises the entire time, do you know what that does to a surgeon? And I'm shocked, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make I'm not disapproving it. I mean, it does hurt a little. Maybe we could do some more shots, maybe. And he says, well, I just don't think you're going to tolerate this surgery, and I really think we need to get any anesthesiologist in here in order for me to work on you. And his tone of voice is so angry. And I said, look, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'll do better. I really need to get this done. I have another appointment on Thursday, and we can't proceed until I get this done. And he goes, you know, at one point, I don't remember exactly, it might be a little out of order, but when I was laying there, he said to me, well, you being here in my office is a favor. I'm booked up for 3 months solid. And I just thought, okay. and all I said was, well, thank you. But I'm thinking, okay, but like, it's not for free. Like, I'm still paying you, and I guess that's nice that you're doing the favor, but like, I didn't call it in, my dentist did. And I mean, the whole thing, it was very weird. It just made me feel very weird power dynamic going on there. So I just kind of, you know, when he said that to me, I said, well, thank you. I appreciate it, you know. And so he brought that up again after, you know, well, you're here as a favor. And I just said, well, I really appreciate it, and I really need to get this done. Like, you know, please, can we get this done? Maybe we can just try some more shots. Like, maybe I'm not numb enough. And he just got up in the middle of this. So he had already done, you know, one tooth, and I've got, you know, blood and all this stuff in my mouth. And he just got up and walked away and said, well, I'm going to go call the dentist, the one that I'm working with. I'm going to go call him. And I thought, okay. So he leaves me for like 20 minutes, and they don't even clean me up. They don't do anything. They just leave me there. And he comes back and he goes, well, he's going to take care of you on Thursday, and you're just not going to tolerate this surgery. And if there's any future treatment with you, like from me, and I don't really care if there is, we'll just have a baseline for how your treatment's going to go in future. And I thought, oh my God, he was so rude. I have just never in all my life, and I had prepaid for this surgery too in cash. And so I just kind of sat there and I thought, I was just lost for words. I was shocked. I've never in all my life been treated like that. And I've had some pretty kind of, growly doctors. That was horrible. And it took some weird comments. No. And none of this is on the surgeon at this point, which I never said that it was. He blurted that out. It was so uncomfortable. And I just thought, my God, this guy, I don't know what it was. It felt like some kind of weird complex, like some weird syndrome or something. And I have a huge respect for medical people in general, because it's a lot of money to go into those fields. It takes a certain amount of, brain power to be able to learn all of those things and then be good at what you do too. And so it was like, I cannot believe, I don't know. I'm still shocked by it. So yesterday was a really bad day. After he came back in and said all that to me, I'm like, okay. And then one of the office gals just came in and she goes, oh, well, right before he left, he only talked to me for like maybe 45 seconds after he came back in from calling my dentist. He just, again brought up the anesthesiologist and said those things to me, and then said, about like if he doesn't care if I come back, if there's further care with me or whatever from him. And then he said something along the lines of like, well, we're going to refund you for today. And he kind of patted me on the knee. No charge for today. And I just, again, I'm sitting there, my mouth is like full of, blood and this loose tissue. They just took, all this, and they like didn't even clean me up. I still have like the bib, and the towel thing on me and all this, and I'm numb from, here down. At this point, it's probably finally kicked in. I don't know. I can barely talk because my face, doesn't really work, and I'm trying not to cry, frankly, because I just was so frustrated and everything, and I don't even remember what I said. I just kind of said something like, okay, thanks or something. I don't know. I was just so shocked. So I texted my husband that, he needed to come pick me up, and they weren't going to do the surgery, and, but he kind of already started it, and I was kind of telling him some things, and he was just like, oh my God, he's shocked. And, his exact expletive was just, this guy sounds like a P-R-I-C-K. And I was like, yeah, he kind of is. Like, I don't know. I'm just shocked. Such a world of difference with the dentist that I've been working with. And so I just thought, okay. And then one of the gals came in from the office, and she just goes, okay, well, like, you can get up whenever you want. And I just was sitting there, and I thought, you're not even going to clean me up or like wash my mouth out or anything? Like, they just stopped in the middle of this surgery and then just like shooed me out. It was so ridiculous. I just could not believe the lack of empathy, the lack of human care, the attitude, just everything. And it was just shocking. I'm still shocked by it. So yeah, that was not a great experience at all. So blah. I ended up walking out, and I just said, am I going to get a refund, like a receipt with my refund? And they just went, oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, you can go over there and sign for it, and she'll get it for you. I said, okay. So I kind of wandered over, and I, signed, and they gave me a, receipt for a refund supposedly. And I'm like, okay. And then I just had to sit in the waiting room and wait for my husband to come get me. And the only other thing they said to me at one point was they kind of asked me, in not so many words, like why I was still there kind of a thing. And, oh, are you waiting for a ride? And I just said, yeah, my husband's coming. Oh, okay. And then they just, kind of went in the back, and one of the girls said something like, I'm going to go eat my salad then. And, she just left, and I was like, okay, bye, whatever. It was awful. So yeah, yesterday was a really bad day. I'm still mad that we had to wait weeks for this guy to even respond and consult on the case, and then to not even do this friggin' surgery, and to start my surgery and then act that way, and just all of it. It was horrible. So yesterday was a really not good day. And then I, called and spoke with my dentist, and that it made it better because, he's a nice guy, but it also made it worse because he told me all the stuff that this guy was saying to him on the phone, none of which was true. He told my dentist that he got through a whole bunch of this surgery, which he did not. He did one tooth. He did 1/8 of the surgery. And technically more than that because he was supposed to do more, but this guy I was at yesterday, the specialist, was not trying to hear any of that. He didn't want to do any of it, and it's like, okay, but we're not just doing the 8, we have to go back further, so we need to prep those areas too, and he just didn't want to hear any of it. So that was, obnoxious, and I told my dentist that. I said he didn't want to hear any of my concerns. He didn't jive with any of the stuff that you and I have been on the same page about that supposedly you, my dentist, already talked to the specialist about. And my dentist was kind of shocked too, and he was like, gosh, that does not sound like the experience that I would want, any of my patients to have. I'm so sorry. He is supposed to be one of the best and all these things, and it has been a couple years since I've worked with him, is what my dentist said. But he said, he's supposed to be one of the best, but I do know that he is specifically, a turn 'em and burn 'em kind of guy. He is not, he doesn't, pussyfoot around at all. He really doesn't have a lot of care, and in most cases that's probably fine, but in your case, you've had a lot of traumatic dentistry, and then you have a very specialized case where we need more. It's not just a typical thing, and he should have known that because he has your whole case file. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I also talked to him about this before he even started, so the whole thing, it was no good, and I really don't even understand why this guy put me through the ringer for so many weeks if he was just going to act like that. That makes no sense. And I prepaid you in cash for the surgery, so you could have just had the money and performed the surgery. The amount of time that he kept me there with all of those shenanigans, they told me that my surgery, I was to check in at 11, surgery would start at about 11:30, 11:45, and I'd be done by 1:30 or 2. With all those shenanigans, I didn't leave there till 2 o'clock. You could have just done the friggin' surgery. I don't understand. It's just so maddening to me. And I also don't understand why any doctor of any kind would want their patient in pain, would want their patient and not care about it. That makes no sense to me in any way. So I'm relieved in a way, because I do think that things happen for a reason. I feel like it's probably a blessing in disguise. I don't want that guy working on me. What if he screwed up and I had to go back to him, or I had to have something fixed? He probably would have been a total jerk about it, just from a guess. I don't know. Maybe he was having a bad day, but I got curious and I went online and I looked up reviews for him. And I found a review from about 3 years ago. There were lots of decent ones, but a lot of them were not about him specifically. They were just about the practice he was in. There was one about him specifically by name, and the gal that wrote it described exactly my experience. She said, he was so dismissive, he was so rude to me, he didn't care about any of my concerns, and he said to her, in quotes, and she wrote in there, and I quote, "People complain about the weirdest things. My teeth hurts. I can feel that. My feet are cold," is what she wrote in parentheses. And she said, he said that to me while he was performing my surgery, and then followed it up with this, saying, if I stopped for every little whine and whimper, I would never get through a surgery. And I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, I've had a lot of dental work and a lot of extensive dental work, and I have never once had a dentist, even with my difficult numbing issues, I have never once had a dentist want to see me in pain. They have always stopped and said, nope, you need to be fully numb, that way we can work on you, that way nothing happens and we don't have a screw up. I mean, could you imagine if a flesh surgeon, a heart surgeon, a brain surgeon, anybody like that, oh yeah, well, they're just squirming around and whimpering. I just could not imagine that. I am still shocked. So anyway, when I got home, I was able to get a hold of this, which was some happy mail for me. Very specifically, I managed to score one of the My Little Shindig Wingo online bingo kits, and so that at least made me happy. That was really fun. She sent that to me, and so full disclosure for those who didn't hear it at the beginning, before I get to sewing that, I'm going to assemble this little phone ring light thing as soon as I finish my soup. But I wanted to kind of give you guys a progress, or not progress, update on what's been going on with me. can't quite see what you guys are saying. So, you know, we'll just sewing, chatting, talking, updating. I will give you guys a little update on the situation here. As I make a mess of myself. Because of all of this, I can only eat soup. I said that earlier, but it's alive, so if you weren't here. I really like soup, but I'm so sick of soup. Every meal I look at, I'm like so disappointed when it shows up and it isn't a burger or steak or sandwich. Like, I want stuff I can bite into and chew. And unfortunately that's not allowed right now. So the sooner I get out of all this stuff, the much better I will be, and I will be much happier. Because it always stinks to be uncomfortable. Nobody likes that. And then, you know, when it just like goes on forever, the thing is, I don't have an end date really. So it's like discomfort forever. So it's like, when is it gonna end? And you know, could be worse. But I'm ready to progress. I'm ready to like go to the next stage. The good news is, when they took off this old material, things just on their own, my body drastically improved. We're not sure why I was having all the issues in my mouth that I was. There's speculation that maybe I was allergic to the material, which can happen. There was also speculation that perhaps they left some extra material around, like underneath my gums in places when they did the original work, and that can really irritate your body if they call it, there's margins between your exposed tooth and the bone, and if you get too close to the bone, your body gets really upset about that, and it causes all kinds of weird things to happen. And so they're thinking maybe that happened, but they don't know. And there could be a couple of other host of issues. But the good news is, when he took the old teeth off, he redid, you know, all the old work basically by removing all of it and removing anything that could have been there. So at the very minimum, the material that I either A, didn't like, or B, was accidentally left behind has now been fully removed. And my gums and my oral health on its own has just drastically improved in the few weeks that it's been gone. So that's a huge plus, because this whole thing is kind of an experiment, and we didn't know if this would help. You know, he let me know from the beginning, we could put something on you in the temporary teeth and your body could not like that either. So you could have more problems. And it's like, well, I already know I have problems, so let's just, you know, you can't fix anything if you don't experiment, right? And that's kind of where I've been with it. So, you know, anyway, getting through it, and I'm trying to just muddle through, you know. So I have another appointment on Thursday, and we are going to redo these temporary teeth again, do some other stuff, and fortunately the doctor that I am working with primarily, he also has the ability to do basically the surgery that I was supposed to have, but he doesn't specialize in gums, which is why he sent me to the specialist. And so he said, I'll just do it. You know, I do this all the time, just not to the degree that you need it, but I am able to do it. And, you know, he's been able to, that other crappy doctor, at one point, toward the end when he was, you know, before he went to go call the doctor, I said something to him about, you know, well, you know, my doctor, he had done this, maybe we could try that. And, you know, I didn't mean it in a demeaning way or anything. I said it just like that, like, maybe this would work. It's been working well for me. And he just snapped back at me, well, I guess he's just better with a needle than I am. I just was like, okay, dude, like, you clearly have something else going on here that has nothing to do with me, but like, you're taking it out on me, and like, I am not about that. Like, you know, and at that point it was just kind of a lost cause, but I was begging him to please go through with the surgery, and obviously he didn't. So I also don't know what doctor just lets a patient walk out with a, you know, mouthful of blood and removed, you know, tissue and other stuff. Like, really, you couldn't even rinse me out? Like, ugh. I'm almost done with my soup, and then I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the bus. I did mention at the beginning, I think a few people said, oh, I'm late. I did mention at the beginning, we ended up trading the RV, the trailer that we had, for the bus that I am now sitting in. So the long and short of it is that we were thinking about doing this, had been thinking about doing it for a long time. It just wasn't really a priority for us, you know, nothing was really a big priority. But then with all of this loss and all of this crappy stuff that's been going on for us personally and with our family and all that, a lot of these deaths, you know, some expected because it was old age, but some of them not, very sudden, and people, you know, our family members who were in their 60s, you know, lost incredibly quickly to cancer that we didn't even know they had, you know, things like that. And it really puts into perspective what matters, who matters, what you should be focusing on. Major mega priority shift. And a big thing for me that has come into focus is connections with people who genuinely like me for me, and where I don't have to go somewhere and be accepted, you know, based on anything that I do or have, all of that, right? And connecting with family members and, you know, putting into priority, you know, things like my husband and my family. So in the years that we've lived in Texas, we have had, you know, it's hard to get out to, you know, it's hard to get out here for Christmas and Easter and all the things that we used to do. And we want to make that more of a priority. We want to try our best to show up for, you know, all those family weddings. Corey is so on his dad's side, he's one of the younger of the, like, grandkids and cousins. But on his mom's side, he's the oldest. So we were like the first ones to get married. And now all of his younger cousins are in their late 20s, early, you know, 30s, and they're all getting married. So we're getting like, this is like the year of the wedding this year and next year. We have so many save the dates. And we love his cousins, but admittedly, we were definitely like, oh, we'll just send a really nice gift. You know, we don't probably need to truck it all the way out there, but I look back now and I'm looking at pictures in my albums of our wedding, and we got married in 2014. And there's so many people now who are in those pictures, but they're not here anymore. And it's like, oh, that kills me. I'm so glad they were there, but like I wanted more of a connection with them. And it's not just family members, it's friends too. And then my husband, you know, I really want to prioritize spending time with him, which is also kind of what led to this a little bit, you know. You guys know when I go to a show, for the most part, he's always there with me. There's very few that he doesn't do. And that's, you know, because we really are each other's best friends. You know, I know that sounds so cliche, but we are. But in the last probably 4 years or so, you know, we're doing fine or whatever. Like, our marriage is fine, but we have kind of like grown apart just a little bit because we are having trouble making time. And part of that was my fault. I'm not prioritizing him over some other things. And it's like, no, like, this person is my best friend and my, you know, my partner in crime, my partner in life, my partner in all things. And that needs to be, you know, a priority. It really does, because you'd never know how long you have with somebody, whoever that may be, a friend, a family member, whatever. And so in that same vein, though, there are like dreams that we've had that we wanted to execute, this bus, you know, thing being one of them. And you know, it was like, you know, life really is too short. So I'm gonna pull this phone out of the cup here and I'll kind of walk you guys around just a little bit. Full disclosure, I have like a business on the top, casual on the bottom thing going on, because I'm living in the bus and I brought very little clothing with me. And also I just wanted to wear my comfy pants while I sew. So, I'm on a little spinning chair here, but I will kind of show you guys, this is my view while I stay here. That is my in-laws' partial of their property right there. So they have a really nice, a little bit of acreage behind here, and, you know, nice property, and it's nice and sunny here and clean and whatever. So, and then you're kind of seeing the main area of the bus. So the dining table, this pulls out. It actually is there's a TV here that pops up, and it's right behind you guys where you can't see now, or where those couches were. And then up here you have obviously the captain's chairs and, you know, the windshield and all of that. And so we're doing some little projects, replacing, that's new right there, that wood ring. This one's getting replaced because the speaker was not good on it. This was, again, you know, kind of, I say accidental, but like it kind of was accidental. We once we decided, hey, we think we might want to do this bus thing, we got to looking around. And the thing about us is we're crazy picky. We like what we like. You know, it's not really about finishes, but, you know, we don't want anything that we don't like. We want it to be a certain way. And so we're that type that we'll just wait until we find what we like. And what we like tends to be kind of few and far between. Because one thing, you know, we don't have a big family. We didn't want a bus or anything that was seating a whole bunch of people or sleeping a bunch of people. We just wanted what we wanted. And stand up here for a second. So there were things that were important to us. One of the things was this area here, we have a desk in the bus, and it's a fairly large desk because you can see my straight stitch machine there, and I'm able to fit a, you know, real size rolling chair there, and, you know, have obviously that nice view. I think that's like a 50 or 60 inch window. So this desk is fairly large. And then, you know, I have some junk around, so sorry for the clutter, but, you know, all of this here. So there's space to work because he does come with me on trips, and I need to be able to work and do things. He needs to be able to work and do things. And then, you know, I need to be able to do some stuff. And same with him. He can sit there. There's a nice cabinet right there that the sewing machine fits in. And then I have all my sewing supplies in the drawers behind. And, have all these cabinets up here are filled with stuff, and then back there in the bedroom it is kind of show you guys a little bit. It's mostly picked up in here. This is a little half bath. That's the one you can get to when you're driving, so that's why there's two, because the slides, you know, come in and then you need to be able to go to the bathroom on the road. So my bed is not made. Everything is messy, and the AC is on, so it's loud. But there's, you know, some cabinetry in here, and this little cabinet, I have all of my sewing stuff in. So I've got supplies and supplies here and supplies below. So that works pretty well. And my unmade bed, excuse me. And then I closed the bathroom because the washer was running, so I was trying to keep that quiet. But closet back here, you're seeing a reflection here, so this is the washer and dryer area in there, and then shower, and then back to the bedroom, and then the, you know, sink and all that stuff over here, and got a nice window and all that. So that's the back of the bus. And then, you know, there's some more storage and things in here, but that kind of gives you a view all the way up. And then I'll just kind of take you guys outside, get my shoes on. So that's an update on the camper that no longer exists. I would not have started all of those projects and I kind of had to like take them apart and not put them in there because you know, we were trading it. We went looking for a bus, and this, by the way, is what we like. I was saying that you know, we were waiting to see if we could find what we liked, and we looked at a lot of buses, and we didn't like them. They were really beat up. They were not in good shape. They were really high mileage. You know, people had obviously lived in them full time, and really, you know, kind of used and abused a little bit, and we just couldn't find what we liked within our budget. So then we stumbled upon this one, and what you are seeing, this is pretty much, we haven't done anything to it. I'll go through these questions too, but Mickey says, is this something you remodeled? No, we have done very little work to this, nothing cosmetic. All of the floors are in perfect shape. There's no broken grout or tiles or anything, which told us right away that the chassis on this specific model is really good, meaning there's no flex or bow or anything in it, because otherwise the tiles, you know, would have cracked and broken. And the only things that Corey has done is replaced, you see this speaker, these are the radio speakers, and they're blown, and when we drive we like to listen to podcasts, and the road trip out here was hard because it was these poor blown speakers. We were like trying to listen to anything, and if you don't turn anything on, you know, these buses, they can be rattly and a little loud, and yeah, so we were like, just turn it up more, you know, but it was like it was really bad. So he said, no, I got to get some new speakers. And so my in-laws neighbor actually made this really beautiful solid wood, made out of tiger wood. He's a woodworker, so he has a huge shop next door, really cool place. if I end up going back over there, maybe I can snap some stuff for you guys, because it was really, really neat. And this is kind of funny. So the neighbor right next door that my in-laws have gotten to know, super nice guy, huge wood shop. I mean, like, you could put, his equipment is gigantic, and all hooked up with like air lines, and beautiful, beautiful shop. He's like a serious woodworker, and you know, he does like custom cabinetry and all kinds of things. So he was making a bunch of cabinetry out of tiger wood, and also doing like a deck and some other stuff. And so this is tiger wood. He made this beautiful wood ring for us that's solid, and we just sealed it with some poly kind of whatever, something he did to hopefully to match our cherry wood pretty good. And I don't really think it's too off. And we needed it because we needed to retrofit these speakers. This bus that we're in is a 2016. It's a 2016 Tuscany made by Thor. And so this is the old speaker we just took the grill off of, and they are within like 3/4 of an inch size-wise to each other. So we will be getting the second ring. They made us a second ring, and unfortunately when they were trying to install it, it broke. So we had to get another one. So they're making a second one. So we did that. And then these, you wouldn't even know a difference, but the old speakers that were in here for like the TV and stuff, they were also blown. But the biggest thing was these trim rings on here had cracked away everywhere, and the speakers were starting to come out a little bit. So we just ordered the new version of the exact same speakers. We put those in. And then everything else that we did, if you know anything about trailers and RVs and campers and all that, there's always something to fix. And whoever had this one before, they very gently used it. They had it for 7 years. It was one owner, and there's only 20,000 miles on it. So they really didn't take it very far, because in a year, Corey and I drive about 12,000 miles on road trips alone to go to shows. So that's not a lot of mileage, in my opinion. And specifically for a 7-year-old vehicle of any kind, but certainly a travel vehicle, that is not a lot of anything. So all the woodwork is in, you know, really great shape. They've taken really good care of everything. These vents, there are 3 in here, one here, one in that bathroom, and one in the back bathroom. My father-in-law and my husband got up on the roof, and they replaced those vents with new vents. They replaced the AC capacitors just for a maintenance thing, like, you know, you would do at your house. We did find a leak under the sink, which on the YouTube update from a few weeks ago, you guys saw this was kind of torn apart a little bit. They did find the leak. They did fix it. My father-in-law is an incredibly handy man. He is an engineer by trade, just like my husband, but he's a physical engineer. And the funny thing is, he's living next door to the woodworker, but my father-in-law is a metal worker. He owned a company working with sheet metal and engineering items out of sheet metal and creating them in his shop, or, you know, his workers creating these items. That's what he did his whole life. He started that right out of high school. So he is now retired and just looking for something to do. So he's like crazy handy. In fact, maybe one of these days I could show you guys around. Right behind me, I don't know if you can see it here. Outside you can see that red truck. That's my truck, and they're actually working on it right now, so we can tow it with the bus. So they're putting the braking system and all of that on so that we can flat tow, the 4-wheel down kind of towing. So anyway, and yeah, so we just happened to stumble upon this. We didn't expect to find it. We had just been kind of going around, and this had just been traded in. And yeah, it's like we just stumbled upon it, and we thought, oh my gosh, like, we didn't intend for that. We didn't think that would happen, and it did. And so we just kind of had a discussion about like everything that has been, you know, best laid plans. You know, a lot of that stuff is not going to happen anymore. We've had a lot of loss, that it's like, can't do those things anymore either. You know, can't see those people, can't do things with them. And we just said, screw it. Like, what are we waiting for? You know, tomorrow is not promised, and either of us could be gone tomorrow. So why not? And so we talked with the dealer that we found this at, and we made a deal. We traded in the trailer, and yeah, we did it. And so we're a little impulsive, but we're not that impulsive. And it takes us a long time to come around on things. We picked this bus up. We made the deal on like a Tuesday when we kind of found it, and we preliminarily made a deal, but said, well, we'll be back, you know, we're going to try to work some stuff out. And then we worked it out, and we came and picked up and purchased the bus on a Thursday, and we hit the road the following Saturday. So we basically brought it home Thursday night. I had Thursday night to clean it and, get it just, all sanitized. It was clean, but, you want to clean it yourself. And so I scrubbed all the things and cleaned all the things and got all of our stuff in it, because we had to empty the trailer and put all the trailer stuff in here. And then there were some things I needed. So I had 3 or 4 hours on Thursday night and then all Friday. And we hit the road at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. on Saturday. So it was very impulsive for us. And we thought, you know what? Previous old me, I needed to plan. I needed to lay out the whole route. I needed to examine every route and make sure, really pick everything apart. Even when we were driving a car, I'm just a big planner. And I thought, you know what? Screw it. Either it'll work or it won't. We'll either make it or we won't. And we made it just fine, and everything was fine. So it was awfully trusting of me, but my husband was very shocked. He was like, who are you? And I told him, you know what? I don't even care anymore. I don't care. Everything that I have tried to plan or do, or people that I put my trust and faith in, things that I put my trust and faith in, like, none of it is working. So you know what? Screw it. I just throw caution to the wind and just do the thing. Carpe diem, man. And so we did. And so we are. And so far it's worked out pretty well. And it's very lucky for us. You guys might have heard me mention this. My in-laws actually have a coach. They have a 42-foot coach. And they've been doing this since they were in their 20s. So they've had a number of coaches, a number of trailers. And so they are a wealth of information and knowledge for us to be able to go to them and, hey, how do we do this? Hey, how should we do that? My father-in-law knows good brands, bad brands, parts, all of those things. And so it's like, you just, we try to figure it out on our own. If we can't, we're like, hey, Dad, what is this? Hey, Dad, how can we fix this? So anyway, that's been really helpful. So I don't know if I would have quite been so brazen about it if I didn't have my father-in-law to fall back on, because I know he would help us, if we had problems and troubles. So, and then the only other thing in here on the inside, and then I'll take you guys outside, these chairs. I don't know what in the world happened with these chairs. I'll tell you, Corey and I bought, when we first got together, we bought a sofa set. It was brand new from the showroom, and they told us it was a product called bonded leather. We didn't know what that meant, but we could afford it and we wanted it, so we bought it. 3 months into this thing, it did exactly what these chairs are doing. It started like peeling and flaking off. Like the leather material just comes right off. Like it just peels. And so I don't know what in the world they did to these chairs, because everything else in here is beautiful and immaculate, and the outside is too. There's like not a scratch on the thing. But these chairs, oh my God, they are horrible. They're peeling, like, I don't know if you guys can see that. Everywhere they're peeling. And that's the driver chair. And the passenger chair is just as bad. It's like terrible. So obviously it's the product, I think, because, everything else is in really great condition. And this is just awful. So we have new chairs on the way. It just takes a long time to get them. And yeah. So let me... probably see my father-in-law wandering around out there, and probably my husband too, because I think they're working on the truck. But and then there's some little stuff like this that they're working on. They're working on replacing some switches and stuff, but super light maintenance. Also, I'm gonna apologize for how bright it is. I'm trying not to blind you. So let me get kind of where I can sort of see, so you can sort of see anyway. So that's the outside. That's the kitchen and kitchen and living room slide right there. And it's actually one really long slide. It goes, let's see if I can show you. It goes almost the whole length of the bus. And it goes all the way back to the bedroom. So that whole side is one big slide, and then there's 2 slides on the other side. And so there's, not that we'll probably ever use it, but there's an outdoor TV right there and an awning. Can't see where I'm pointing. And so then we have the front, and then we have, try to get a better angle. It's so hard to line these up. So then we have the other side. So we've got the dining, and this one is where that desk is. And then the other one here is the master bedroom. So it's just the bed and the bathroom. It's actually both on either side of that wall. So yeah, you can see it's in really nice shape. we haven't done anything to the outside. I washed it the other day. I got a pressure washer and all kinds of stuff and scrubbed all the bugs from our trip off, but haven't really done anything, and it's in phenomenal shape. The other thing we were looking for in ours specifically is we wanted a diesel pusher. We did not want a puller if we could avoid it, and finding that in our price range in such nice condition was going to be really hard. So luckily we were able to do that, and I'll just walk you around to the back side, I guess. Oh, it's so bright out here. Okay, getting some shade. So just the backside with all the, engine and everything is back here and all that. And so the other side of the slide there, and that's from the back. So anyway, and then this behind me is the whole, they call it the barn, but it's the metal shop. So my father-in-law, that's my truck, and he's got a lift in there, you can kind of see. So they had it up on the lift so they could take the bumpers off and take a bunch of stuff off, and that's above my pay grade. I don't really know what they're doing, but it's so that we can tow behind. And on this, whoever owned it previous, they towed, we found manuals. They had a whole thing of manuals for us in one of the compartments underneath, and so they already had all the equipment on this thing to flat tow, which is awesome, because that means half the work was done for us. So now all we have to do is fix my truck, and so that's what they're doing. So anyway, I don't know what that was. Bus making some kind of a noise. I think that was the suspension or something. I don't know. So anyway, that's what's going on here. So I'll head back in the bus. It's way too bright out there for me. Ooh. And my sunglasses. So anyway, that's kind of the update on the camper that unfortunately is no more. We feel kind of bad because we only had it for 6 months. We really like that little camper. It's a little trailer. It was a 27 foot, and it was just what we wanted, but for what we wanted at that time, it was a couples camper is what they call them, and it worked really well. It was really nice, but it just, we always wanted to do this, and then again, we got such a good deal on this. The price, it was like, I was a little fearful, like I said, that when we set off on the road, it was like, this thing is gonna fall apart. Like, it's just, there's no way it could be this good of a deal. But it was, to find something in this great a shape for this price, being a diesel pusher, which is a really big deal, and just, it was it was really quite a very big blessing, to be honest with you. So and the amount of work and the little bit of materials we've had to put in to fix just a few minor things, no big deal, and it's all stuff we're perfectly capable of doing. So no major overhaul or anything here, and no major investment outside of the bus itself. So, and then if you are on the Facebook group, you may have heard me tell them we thought we might have an exhaust leak, a small one, and we think it's not. If it is an exhaust leak, it's a small one, but we think it might not be. We think actually we might just be missing a muffler on the air compressor, something about an air compressor that's driving another system. We think maybe it's missing a muffler, and that's the noise that we hear when we drive. We're not sure. We have an appointment to take it to a Freightliner shop, an RV shop, or a coach shop, I should say. And so it just they'll deal with it. They'll tell us, but we've been kind of trying our best guess to figure out, and that's kind of what we've come up with. And we knew the cost going in when we bought it. We heard the kind of weird noise when we were test driving, and I said, I don't know if that noise is back in the cup. Hopefully it'll work. Okay. We knew something going in, and we didn't really, the dealer we bought it from, we had heard and seen online that people said, oh, they're really great sales, but their service is terrible, so don't go back here for service. So we just said, give us a credit for the warranty, give us a credit for, this weird noise, because we're going to have to get it fixed. We don't want any of that. We'll just buy it as is. And again, we did that because we knew we had my father-in-law who fixes stuff on his coach all the time, and so we were like, we make the joke all the time about Dad's garage. but in his case, it really is true because he's retired and he loves working on cars and engines and solving problems, you know, typical dad form. You know, he gets, you can clearly tell he gets excited for a project, and then he gets into it, and, you know, then it's like, oh, damn, you know, and it's cursing the whole time. But then when he gets it done, it's like, it's so fulfilling, and you can tell, like, he really loves it, and, you know, I know he likes, and there are also several distilleries down in Fredericksburg, so pretty central area of the country, a bit easier to get to, and a lot less expensive than California wine country, so, anyway, you know, that's a fun thing to do. So we thought, you know, we want to take trips with them. We want to travel around with them and do these fun things, and still go to shows, of course, with the website and the hardware, you know, on my end. But anyway, okay, so I probably should go through these comments a little bit here for a second, and then I'm going to start putting together this little ring light deal. This is the, I don't even know if there's a brand on here. It just says desktop and overhead phone stand, and I got it off Amazon. Okay, so the brand is ATKTTOP, whatever that is. I just went on Amazon and searched for like desk, phone mounted like desk stand, and this one had a built-in light, which I like because I don't have, I mean, there's lots of light in here, but more light is good. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be doing these sewing live things, you know, I should have something good. So, you can put the phone in the middle of the ring here, or you can put it on the regular stand, and then it's microphone compatible. So this shouldn't be too bad to assemble, and it's pretty highly adjustable, which I liked, and it's not a clip on the desk. So what I was thinking is I can put it on the thing behind the desk, because I've discovered if you clip onto the desk where you're sewing, and if the desk moves at all, then the camera's gonna move, so nobody wants that. So anyway, hopefully I like this. It comes with a really heavy metal base, which I like. I don't think it'll be too hard to plug in, but I suppose there's the brand for you guys. It'll probably be backwards, but that's the brand. You know how Amazon is, everything is like some weird brand. Okay, open the package, take out all the stuff. 2 rods to fasten through the bottom. I'll look at the comments here in a sec, guys, once I kind of figure out, and I can do that while I'm talking. So, I'm gonna scroll, oops, back up. So I don't know who's still on here, but, you know, hi Kirsten, if you're still on here. Glenda asked how the bus renovation was going. Diane says hi. And Kirsten says that's awful, I had to deal with that, talking about the dental work earlier. Thank you, Diane, we're very happy with it. We think it's pretty nice. Michelle, I assume that you're talking about the dental work. Yes, it was a very unfortunate day yesterday. That's probably the best way to put it, and I'm just still digesting it all a little bit, and then after that I was like, okay, well, just, you know, move on. There's nothing else I can do about it. Monica Walker says hi. Hi, Monica. Going back into work. Hope you have a better day. Thank you, Monica. I really appreciate it, and if you catch up on this later, then hi. Have a good day, too. So Mickey, take things for granted. We definitely do, and that's one thing in this whole situation that I have definitely been guilty of. It's like, yeah, definitely taking things for granted. Didn't mean to, but it's human. That's human nature. We do that, and we need to do our best to not. It's not good for us to do. So Mickey, you said you wanted RV to travel so bad. Yeah, that was a big thing for us too. Like I said, a dream that we kind of were like, well, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 6 years, you know, we'll plan it out. Because again, we're big planners, so it was rather impulsive of us. But again, we've shopped around. We go to all the RV shows and things, and honestly, everything we find, we really just don't like. For one reason or another. It's not a good layout for us. It doesn't have what we want. It's not flexible. The price, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so expensive. The big thing to me was washer and dryer, and you would not believe how rare that is. But we're on the road oftentimes for like 2 weeks, and I just don't want to bring that much clothes with me. And you know, when you're traveling, there's always a mishap. There's always something, and so it's really nice to be able to just wash your own stuff and do that. Sometimes we're on the road for longer than 2 weeks, and you know, it stinks being in a hotel. It's really nice to have your own food, your own, you know, amenities, and your own bed. I'm telling y'all, like, I know you're always like, oh, you're so young, but like, look, you're really young until you're not, okay? And I realize I am only in my 30s, but like, this is a hard 30, you guys. Like, I am, well, I'm not 30, but hard 30s, I should say. Like, ever since, I don't know, about 28, I started having back issues. And now that I'm in my mid 30s, like, oh my gosh, my back, I just cannot handle hotel beds. It kills me. And when you're at a show and I got to be on my feet all day, and then you want to go back and relax, and the bed hurts you more than the chair you were sitting in, which hurts you more than standing up, like, it's brutal. It's horrible. And, so that's a big thing. It's like, I can have my own bed, which is why we got the camper to begin with. It was like our own bed on wheels with our own kitchen and our own, you know, thing. And that RV that we had previously, the trailer, had a washer and dryer in it too, which is crazy to find in a 27-foot bumper pull trailer. If anybody's interested in looking at those, it was an Atlas, ATLAS, made by Dutchman. It was a 2022. And they still make it, and they have 2 models, and they have a washer and dryer in them, or washer dryer hookups. You can, you know, add it, but it's in there, it's prepped for it, so you just have the dealer install them. And loved that about it. It was like, oh my gosh, I can wash my own stuff, and you know, it's great. And I used it a ton. People were like, you're never going to use that. It's like, no, I use it a ton. I was just doing laundry here today. So anyway, and obviously the camper trailer is a much more cost-effective option if you can tow. But I really liked that thing. I was very happy with it. I think Mickey, most of these questions I already answered for you. Sorry, it's stuck in the cup, so now I have to like look into the cup to see these questions. Hassan, hi, waving. Oh, Mickey said I'm frozen. Hopefully I'm not frozen anymore, but signal, you know, can be a little spotty here. I'm on the bus Wi-Fi, so hopefully it's okay. And yes, this is a 2016. It is a Thor, and the like model, I guess, or whatever is it's made by Thor, and it's a Tuscany is what it's called. So I know they still make it. They have changed it quite a bit, and I know the prices, you know, on the new ones have gone up quite a bit too. But I think the model or something like that is or the floor plan, I mean, I think is a 40AX. It's a 40-foot bus, and I'm pretty sure it's the AX, but don't quote me on that because that might be a little loose. So, okay. Sorry, I'm like looking down there in the comments. Let me get this thing like done so that, you know, we can actually do some more sewing and things. But anyway, I'm glad that seems like everybody's, you know, like awfully chatty today. It's what, Wednesday, so middle of the week. So that means we're almost halfway to the weekend. Oh, and I have another appointment tomorrow, which is going to be a lot, and I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm really happy to be going back to my own doctor because he's not sketchy and mean. So that'll be good, because I'm like incredibly over what happened yesterday. I guess, are these, let's see. Okay, so one of these, this like moves up and down, so you can have the light position with the phone position, and you, I think, are supposed to screw this on. I do like that this whole base comes apart. When you're in an RV, space and storage is important, and sometimes you really need collapsibility, you know, to store things. So for those of you out there who are also RVers of any sort, one of the things that I bought that I really like, two things actually. I bought a mini Instapot, the 3-quart one, which works great. I've been having to make myself soup because that's all I can eat at the moment, and so I've just been going crazy on soup recipes. So by the way, if you have a good recipe for soup that does not have a bunch of chunks in it, and by that I mean like I can eat beans and soft stuff, I just can't eat, it's got to be a real soupy consistency. Like I can't eat stew, that's too chunky, too thick. But I've been making like bean and ham soup, and just chopping up the bacon like tiny fine. You know, broccoli cheddar, I made loaded potato, and I just used an immersion blender and I blended it all up so it was more creamy. I've been making, what else did I make? I made a jambalaya style soup that turned out way too salty, so I'm just gonna thin it and then I'm gonna put it over rice, like just a little bit of it over rice, and then I'll be able to eat it. But that one came out way too salty, so I liked it, but too salty. And I just diced up all the vegetables really finely. So that's what I did with that. Oh, and then I think, yeah, these rods telescope, so that's awesome. So this will be really good. I'm excited for this thing. And I don't think this mount, by the way, was very expensive. I think it was probably $35-ish, right around in that wheelhouse. So I remember it being one of the cheaper options, and I was like, oh, but it has a light and all these other things, so hopefully it works well. Anyway, I bought the Instapot, which I have really liked, and it's the mini one. So it's not huge. It does not have an air fryer. It's just the Instapot, but it has worked really well. So I bought that for the RV because kind of a need. And then the other thing I bought, so this particular camper, or motor coach, I guess I should say, I'm all over the place now, I'm all mixed up. Our last camper obviously did not have a dishwasher in it, but this model does not have a dishwasher in it. All the new models do. And when I tell you guys my most unfavoritist chore in the whole wide world, I'll do any chore, dusting, mopping, vacuuming, laundry, whatever. I hate doing dishes by hand. The big reason for that actually is because I hate wearing gloves. Anybody who's been around these parts, you guys know I garden, you know that I work with leather and dye all the time, and I hate wearing gloves. It must be a sensory thing because I cannot deal with, I just feel like I'm like in prison. I don't know, I can't deal with it. It's like I'm so confined when I wear gloves, and I don't like any of that. I also feel the same way if I wear like a watch and a bracelet. I can do it for a little bit, but after an hour or two, I'm ripping it off. It's like, nope, I can't deal with this all day. I feel just very confined. I don't like that. I feel the same way about shoes. So I think it's a bit of a sensory issue because I just don't know how to deal with it. So I don't like wearing gloves, and because I don't like wearing gloves, I end up, if I just spend like an hour doing dishes, like a normal amount of dishes, even with sensitive skin soaps, I end up getting this rash. They call it bartender's hands, and there's another name for it. And I started getting it back when I bartended 100 years ago, because we had to do the dishes at our bar. And it never bothered me, but I would start to get these weird little, they're almost like blisters, but they're several layers under the skin. So they never actually come out and burst, but you get like this watery-ish kind of bumpy, lumpy rash, and it itches so bad. I could never figure out what it was, and I tried all kinds of different things, and really the big solution is just not to get your hands wet for long periods of time. Showers don't bother me. Short stints of like washing whatever, that doesn't bother it. It's doing dishes really for like an hour or 30, 45 minutes, and it'll come up on the edges of my fingers, and it itches so bad. And it takes about a week to go away if you don't keep getting it wet. If you keep getting it wet a whole bunch doing more dishes, it comes back. So anyway, to that end, we spent a little bit of money and we bought a tabletop dishwasher. I bought it on Amazon and I love it. It works so well. You just put the drain hose in your sink and you just fill it with water and you run a cycle, and it fits, I'll put like a pan, the Instapot pot in there, a couple of bowls, some spoons, a couple coffee mugs, a plate. So like 2 full settings, or like 4 people's worth of settings if it's just like 4 plates, 4 cups, 8 utensils kind of thing. And it'll fit all that, and it's sitting right there. It's so cute. It has a little window, which I'm like fascinated by because it just sits there and runs the dishes. And so it kind of cracks me up, but you can get it with a window or without. And I was like, well, of course I have to get the window. And it dries. So like I just put it in there at the beginning of the day, or when I go to bed, it's pretty quiet. If you do not have a dishwasher in your house, or you're looking for something for, a cabin or a camper or whatever, it plugs into a regular outlet, uses regular power, and you can hard install it if you want. There's a water line that comes with it. I chose not to do that because I want to take it down, and I just store it under the bed. Like, you wipe it all out, dry it all out, and store it under the bed. And it works great, and it only weighs, I'd say it weighs less than my sewing machine. This sewing machine weighs 42 pounds. And so it weighs less than that. And so, I'd say probably 25 pounds, maybe 30 on the dishwasher. It is so worth it. So worth it. yeah, it's got a heater in it, so you don't even have to heat the water before you put it in. And then it doesn't do heat dry, it does what they call condensation drying. So you leave it closed, and all the built up heat from the cycle, it expels and just blows the air through, and it dries everything nice. And so I think it's great. And so those were my kind of two big things that I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend a little bit, but they've both been really, really helpful and really handy. Let me put my chair up here. It's sinking down to the ground. Okay, fasten the rod. And now I gotta put these are the little foam grippy holders on here. What I don't know is what this is. I think this, they call it a soft tube, and it's like a little bendable. I think you'll put this in one of these, and then you tighten it down, but probably should follow the directions, because otherwise that's how we get into trouble. Okay. So it's this one with the ball. Yeah, so that's exactly what you do. So these rods have this has a ball on the end, and that has a ball on the end, and you push these into here, and it snaps just like that. And then, but I gotta take it off because I have to put this back on. Oops. So put that on there, and then you just tighten this down. So that's pretty clever. And then this just stretches to fit any phone, and then you can rotate it to have a portrait or landscape on the phone. And this goes in here, like so. Not too bad. And then this, okay, so there's this thing here, and this goes out of the way. Okay, that tightened down nicely, and then we tighten that, so now we have the light thing, and this I need to attach to here, and then there's a little mount on the front. So that wasn't too bad, actually. That's pretty easy, and so hopefully I'll put you guys in that, and you don't have to sit in the cup anymore. I have you sitting in a plastic short drinking glass on top of a coffee mug balanced upside down. Silly. Okay, so this goes, I thought that went there, but I don't think it does. There's like a hole right there, and I was guessing, but I think I'm wrong. Let me figure out. Loosen this and attach it. There's a hole up here in the light. I was gonna say, wait, I think I'm missing a piece, but this goes like this. That way you can have better lighting, so you can put the phone in here and have the light. And so there's two different like mounts on here, and that turns around like that. So we're gonna see other things I've been doing in my downtime. I haven't been doing much sewing, if really any, unfortunately. Okay, I see. Because I just haven't really felt up to it, these procedures and stuff, and then frankly we've just been kind of doing work around here, and it's been a bit. So I've been having a Studio Ghibli marathon. There's plenty of those movies that I've never seen, and I was rewatching some old favorites, and so I've been kind of puttering around here doing work that I need to do, and making super cute little earrings. By the way, I have a few sets that I haven't finished, but I made some magenta, and I made some charcoal, and I just started making some acid greens. So I'm going to send Corey home when he goes home with a lot of those, and they will be listed on the website for you guys. So I've just been kind of doing that type of stuff, sitting, trying to relax, trying to just heal and get through a lot of this, and taking meds all day and doing all the things they want me to do, swishing and brushing and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. I think I will keep the box for this. And because I have camera equipment at home, you know, I have a stand and all that, I don't need this. I think this will specifically be for, like, travel, probably. So I'll probably put it back in the box and then store it in the desk, which would be nice. Okay, let's get all set up here. And then I'm going to try to plug this in and put you guys on it so you're not in the cup. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if you guys, so I think at this point I have seen, what have I seen? I've seen Ponyo, I have seen My Neighbor Totoro, which I saw a long time ago. But I've never watched any of them in the English version, so that's what I've been doing, is watching them in the English version. And so I used to just do the subtitle ones, and I do enjoy those still, but it's hard to work and watch them because you got to read the subtitles. So I have them in English now, and I've been, you know, rewatching those, and it is really interesting. They are quite different in English, to be totally honest with you. Not in any kind of bad way, but it is just really interesting. A little bit of like what's kind of lost in translation and what changes a little bit. And so I just watched Ponyo yesterday after the little bit of the procedure that I had, because my mouth was, you know, hurting and I was all numb, and so I ate ice cream for lunch. The cold made it feel a lot better, and took medication and just, you know, kind of laid on the couch and napped and whatever. But can't reach. Okay, there we go. Get that. Hold on, I gotta get out of the desk real quick and plug this guy in. Okay. Let's see, there's a light doohickey here. Power. Ooh. Well, it works. I don't know what this button does. Oh, so it has cool light, blue light, really like orangey light, blue, kind of medium, and then like orangey. Like a warm. Let's see. So I see it on my face a little better. So that's the cool blue one. That's kind of the middle one, which I think I like the best because now I don't look like a ghost. And then this one, which makes me look like George Hamilton. Orange. So that's actually not too bad for sewing. I don't know, maybe we'll keep the blue one. Kind of like daylight looking. I don't know, it is a little cold. We'll see when I get my machine fired up. Because the other thing that's nice about this is I can, you can't really see this, but you can move the light up and down, so it gives me more lighting for sewing too. So you guys will get a better vantage point, hopefully, for sewing live videos. So let me see. If I do that, and then I untelescope this. You guys might be moving here for a little minute, getting set up on the machine here, and then I gotta plug in the machine. Power. Okay. Power on. Power on. Hooray. Okay, let's get you guys into a better position where A, gotta get you out of the cup, I can see, and then B, you can see. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. And, you know, while I'm thinking about it, I gotta plug you guys in, because... Okay. Ooh. Sorry if you're seasick. Hi, Cindy. Try to move this cup, and then I think if I, like, telescope you guys, there we go, backward, and lock you into place. And then let me see, I might put you guys in the, I was going to use this one, but I think maybe the one see how that works out. Can't really see too much of me, which is fine. We're, you know, sewing and stuff. And now I can read your comments, which is great. So before I was like struggle bus with that thing. Okay. And so I think for you guys here on YouTube anyway, this is probably the first time you are seeing this new to me machine, which I've just had for a couple weeks, and I've only sewn like a few things on it. So I'm still kind of getting used to it, but I really, really like it. It is an Elnita. It's by Elna, and EF1 is the machine make and model, and I really like, got some schmutz on it. I really like the color. I mean, I really like the machine too, but I really like the color. So, this light might be a little much. Back that off a little bit. Yeah, I'm really, really happy about the color, and I'm happy about the features on it. It's got a light out here. It's got a light under here in the throat space, which I love, and it sews really nicely. So, I don't know how it's going to handle this project today, because this project today comes to us from, My Little Shindig. If you have not heard of My Little Shindig, that is a fabric company, but she is doing something super, super fun called Wingo. And Wingo is her online bingo that she's doing. Sorry for the sinkhole noises. Isn't the machine color really cute? I am so, so happy with it. And then I brought my press with me, you know, to sew bags. And look, it matches my press. Isn't that so freaking cute? This is a slightly cooler tone, but it's also closer to the camera. So in person, they look almost exactly the same. And then this has glitter on it, which, you know, love glitter. But I obviously like this color. It's one of my machine, or one of my business colors that I use all the time. I love like pastel mint green and pistachio green. So I was really stoked about that when I found it. They do offer it in plain white if you don't like the green, but I just think the green is so fun. So anyway, yeah, so look how cute. And this also has my favorite. It's so much fun. So there's dates on here that she gives you for the spring Wingo, and then when spring is done, you can buy another one for summer, and you'll get a whole new kit, and you assemble it, and so on and so forth. So for spring, there were 3 dates for Wingo, and I already missed one of them, March 24th, but the next one is late April, and then one in late May. So I'm really excited to finally be able to participate about that. If you want to do Wingo, obviously you can go buy your own kit from her website, which I'm going to look on here. It's just mylittleshindig.com. Shindig is SHINDIG. So mylittleshindig.com, and you can purchase a Wingo kit. And then she sends you the dates and all of that in there. And just to participate, you must have your Wingo kit assembled. It has to be sewn together, because if you know anything about bingo, you can, you know, rearrange it if they aren't sewn together, and she wants them to be, you know, sewn together. So, let me try not to jar you guys, but I don't really like this position. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. I feel like I'm just like a floating eyeball up here. It's wigging me out. So anyway, everybody gets together, everybody who gets the kits, and then you do the Wingo live. And I haven't done one yet, but I've heard about it, and like everybody in the sewing community is talking about Wingo. So I will be attending in June the Sewcation, which is being held at the Margaritaville Resort in Palm Springs, I believe it is. I can never remember if it's Palm Springs or Palm Desert, but if you go online and Google Sewcation, it will show up. It is with Sew O-Side is the company who's hosting it, the brand who's hosting it, and My Little Shindig is coming, and they are going to be doing Wingo live in person. So you'll get your kits for that not through her website. These ones through her website are for her Wingo. The in-person Wingo, you'll get kits for that elsewhere. But I'm really, really excited to do that in person. I'm excited to attend Sewcation this year. It's in California, which means we get to do a little trip out to California, and I get to meet all of you guys that are in California. I know it's been really hard. Every year I go to an expo of any kind, everybody's like, are you ever coming out to the West Coast? So yes, I'm coming to the West Coast. I will be teaching at that expo. Hopefully I'll have teeth then by that expo. No promises, but you know, might be showing up with my falsies, but that's all right. And yeah, it's just, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a really, really fun time, low key. I am this year, again, with that priority shift I've been talking about, and I'll probably keep talking about it to remind myself, but also to encourage you. Priorities, priorities, priorities. And I am looking to have more fun in life. I am so tired of toxicity. I'm tired of drama. I'm tired of energy sucking. I'm tired of that weird feeling of like, you know, acceptance and, oh, am I gonna have a seat at the table, and did I do enough to like earn this person's friendship, approval, whatever. I'm like so done with all of that. I am just, I don't know when I became that person, but I don't want to be that person, and I am enough as I am, and you are enough as you are, and let's just have more fun. Let's just have more fun in life and do something fun. So that is my main goal this year for all of the expos that I am attending. Fun, and, you know, yeah, networking in business, but like fun and just meeting people and making those meaningful connections and all of that. So we'll be doing Wingo at this occasion in June. It's the dates escape me at the moment. Somebody probably knows. If you know, and you are going to Socation, then throw the dates up there, because I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but it's late June. And then in September, I will be coming out to Missouri. So if you are in the middle portion of the country, Midwest, South, whatever, if that's accessible to you, there's an expo called the Oh So Crafty Expo, and I'm really excited for that one. It is in St. Louis, Missouri, right across the street literally from the baseball stadium there. I believe it's the Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals, I think. And it's sure to be a lot of fun. That one I'm also incredibly excited for. I think that's going to be just a really fun, interesting time. Something different, something new, and I don't know. I'm determined to turn 2023 into, like, I don't know. It's any Seinfeld fans out there, Corey and I have been referring to it as the Summer of George. There's a whole episode about that. You'll have to go back and watch, but the Summer of George. And so we keep saying that because, again, things have been so like crappy and negative and whatever. We're just like, I'm not doing anything at this point that I don't want to do. If it doesn't fulfill me, if it doesn't make me happy, if it isn't required to pay my bills, I'm not doing it. I'm not saying yes to things I no longer want to say yes to. If it doesn't bring me fulfillment and joy, I'm not doing it. And so we keep kind of talking about that, and that has become the mantra. And so we just keep referring to it as the Summer of George. In the episodes, of course, you know, if you're a Seinfeld fan, the Summer of George turned out to be like a big goose egg, but that's kind of the joke because this year has already sort of been a big goose egg. So we're like, you know what, we're going to turn in Summer of George, baby. So anyway, yes. So I will show you my little fabrics, and then I got to pick one I have to eliminate. So of course, right on the top of the pack, I knew that this pack was for me because I've got a very cute little Madame Leota Haunted Mansion fabric. Sorry. That made my phone vibrate and made it fall down, which is actually kind of funny. Okay, hold on one second, guys. I gotta put this on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Oddly enough, she'll probably watch this later. That was Miss Susie from So Grilly Fun calling me twice. I'll have to call her back. But anyway, okay, so the next one in my little stash is strawberries. Then I have what looks like, by the way, all these fabrics that I'm showing you are from my little shindig. They are all fabrics that I believe she has available to order or did at one time. So they all come from her. So if you see something you like, I know it's in a little piece, but you can look at it later. So this almost looks like it could be a coordinate from the Haunted Mansion fabric, doesn't it? I don't know if it actually is, but it would be cute together. The little blue stars, kind of. That'd be a cute cord for a lot of things. And then we have butterflies with flowers. Oh, this is cute too. This is definitely a coordinate with the Haunted Mansion because it's one of the hitchhiking ghosts. And I see a coffin, and I see this guy is the caretaker from Haunted Mansion, his lantern. That's super cute. Then we have, okay, I saw a joke about these online. So it's supposed to go this way. Okay, it's a little snowman. The head is bigger, the body is smaller, and that's his little hat and his nose. But I saw a joke about this. If you turn it upside down, it looks maybe like a different kind of snowman. So anyway, there were lots of jokes to be had about that fabric. I saw that. This one looks like, I don't know, pictures related. I see an iPhone and a camera and floral. And this one is a Christmas. And so again, the idea is like we're going to sew them together in a bingo board. She sends you one extra square, so 26, but you only use 25. So you pick one that you're going to take out. So there's Christmas sprinkles. That's a cute one. This one is like a very retro feeling. This to me has like 80s, it's going to sound bad, I mean in a good way, but like 80s hospital blanket vibes. The colors on there, I was brought home from the hospital on a blanket, kind of like that. And then this one, super cute, Aloha, it says, or actually it says Aloho ho, that's pretty funny. And then flamingos with Christmas stuff. This one is, looks like I got a couple of these. I have one Pac-Man, the Pac-Man with stripes, and then I think there's another Pac-Man in here, let me see. This one looks like binoculars. I'm a sucker for anything with stripes, you guys. Like, I don't even know what I would do with binoculars. Travel, maybe, travel inspired make. But pocket watches and binoculars, but like it's got stripes and flowers. I love stripes and flowers. By the way, Cindy, I think you asked me where I got my press from. It is a cam press from camsnaps.com, but I painted mine. So there's a YouTube tutorial here on the channel, a full instructional. And I showed you how I painted it and what I used and how I did the whole thing and how I made the little sleeve for it that I did. So if you want to customize your cam press, you can go follow that tutorial, a separate video. This looks like succulents. Pretty colors, really nice colors on these. Oh, this is cute. This is like Christmas sweater fabric, winter sweater fabric, right? Like needlepoint kind of. You're welcome, Cindy. So here's the other. So obviously she had a Pac-Man round at some point, or is going to, because this one and this, I really like the striped one. This one you kind of see a version of this a lot, but I really like the stripe version. I think that's really cute with the characters like popping out of the stripe. I like that a lot. Here's another striped fabric. So of course, I'm over here all excited about it. Florals and stripes. It's like modern Beauty and the Beast is what that reminds me of, with the red roses. All roads lead to Disney in my life. I don't know why. Oh, that's cute. So we have trick-or-treating aliens. And then we have, this one looks like Oscars, you know, like makeup, swag bags, watching the Oscars kind of fabric. This one, okay, so this is like Halloween dogs, like dogs in their Halloween costumes. So I see a little vampire, an astronaut, and a ghost dog. Of course, we've got a really pretty checkerboard, like, you know, I don't know, checkerboard, plaid, gingham, whatever you want to call that. Ants. Cute little cartoony kind of ants. You have a pretty floral. Matches my machine. And then we have not dirty snowmen with pine cones. That's cute. This one is for sure like a summer vibes kind of drinks. It's like a maybe an old fashioned and a margarita maybe over here, I don't know. And this is like a Bloody Mary with a celery stalk in it. Okay, this, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to need a larger amount of this, okay? Because it's got a stripe thing going on, and then it has acorns and mushrooms. I love mushrooms, and I love earthy, I love the vibe of this artwork. This is really cute. So I'm gonna need, this one's definitely going on my board. And then the last one I have is polka dots. So now I need to pick which one I'm not doing, and I'm just gonna assemble mine in random order because I'm gonna set aside like my least favorite ones and then pick from there. But yeah, I'm not going to put mine together in any particular order, I don't think. Actually, I don't know, I kind of don't like that one either. Let's see. I like it, but it's not my favorite. I think just because of the jokes, I'm going to have to keep the Naughty Snowman one. Gotta keep all the Haunted Mansion ones. Keep that, keep that, keep that. Okay, so I'm left with, you guys will have to help me decide. So I took out these three. It's like the 80s stripes, the butterfly, and this one. I only need to pick one that I don't keep. These ones were my least favorites. I mean, they're cute, but they're just not my vibe. And then I have the trick-or-treating aliens, the ants, and the drinks. So I'm gonna lay these out, kind of see which one I don't like the most. I think the one that is probably least me is probably this one, the butterflies. It's cute, but I'm not into that type of art specifically. I like kind of, I don't know, quirky, detailed. Like that's a little too like soft, maybe almost like on a little girl's dress, it would be really pretty is how I feel about it. But on my Wingo board, I don't know. So what I'm gonna have to figure out is I may have to interface mine, which I hope I don't, but this machine is a little bit more heavy duty and this is uninterfaced cotton. If I had my domestic machine here, my plain old domestic, it'd be no problem, but on this, it might be a little too heavy duty. So I'm gonna try to sew it. We'll see what happens. So again, if you liked any of those fabrics or you're wanting to participate in Wingo, head over to mylittleshindig.com, and I ordered mine probably, I don't know, maybe a week ago, 6 days ago, and it came yesterday or like really late the day before. So it came really quick, and you'll just want to get it assembled in time for the next Wingo event, which is April 28th. So you got time. But don't sleep on the kits. The kit was like $10, I think, if even, and it's been so fun. When I tell you how many people have messaged me, talked to me about Wingo, and said, oh my gosh, it's so fun, you have to do it, you have to do it. And I've been trying to score a kit, and it has been so hard to get a kit. So hop over there to her website and see if you can score a kit. So I think what I'm gonna do now is just lay these out willy-nilly, you know, because it's a bingo board. And you just want 5 by 5. Hopefully I don't screw it up. I used to be a quilter once upon a time. That was a long time ago. I don't really know if other people are interfacing theirs. I'm hoping I don't have to interface mine, but we'll see. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Oh, so hopefully all the rest of you are having a really good week so far. I hope so. And hopefully you continue to have a good week, and hopefully my week turns around a little bit because, you know, started off a little weird, just a little rocky. I'm still in shock about that dentist yesterday, y'all. I just can't even believe that. I don't know. To me, it's like, what kind of a world do we live in where businesses are treating people like that and we're just totally cool with it, you know? I mean, I'm not cool with it, but what do I do about it? Like, you know, I'm not really one to like go forth and complain. Once upon a time I did use Yelp, you know, for a lot of things, and I still look stuff up. I just don't leave reviews as much anymore. And I don't know. I just think, gosh, businesses should be treating people the way they want to be treated. They should be nice to their customers. They should care about what people think of them. They should be invested, you know. And I don't know. That's how I do business, so I guess not everybody is the same, obviously. Just crazy. Laying out my little squares here so I can sew each row together. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. Okay. Trying not to make these fall off my desk. I think I got a good mix of colors going on here. I want to try to not put like colors next to each other, because after a while when you stare at a bingo board, you know, it starts to blend in a little bit. So I'm just trying to make sure I don't have like any black ones next to other black ones. I don't have pink next to pink patterns that are the same next to each other, because, you know, that can get a little difficult. And I think because, you want to know the dumb thing, I don't have an iron, so I'm just gonna have to finger press these, I guess, but I really hate doing that. I really don't have any iron in here. I want to, for those of you who watch the Lynn's Handmade Stories, she made a cute little foldable pressing station with a mini iron, and I do have a mini iron like that at home, and of course I left it. And she put a wool mat in there. She cut a wool mat down to fit, and she used her Eli laptop case, and I love that, and that would be perfect for the RVing, camping, vacation home situation if you're going to a sewing retreat, like the Wizardry Retreat, which I will be going to in May, and then obviously I'll be at the Sewcation in June, and then I'll also be at the Oh So Crafty Expo, all of which are sewing, you know, retreats. So yeah, that would be a really good thing for me to make. I'm like, I really need to get on that. So thinking that will be something that I will do, even if I don't do her version. I love the idea that she came up with, so I want to do one of those. But let me get a little bit. This fabric is not too thin for this machine. I haven't done anything like that yet. And I'm not being real specific about this, y'all, because, you know, if they end up out of order, they'll just be out of order. I'm not real concerned about it. And truth be told, I was really excited for this bunch of stuff to come in here, because I have just completely lost my Sojo, you guys. I'm trying desperately to get it back, but it has been difficult to say the least, given everything that's been going on, and I'm still definitely grieving, but I'm getting better about it. I almost cried this morning and I didn't, but I almost did. And so those days are getting a little fewer and far between. I've had a couple of really bad days since I've been here with the grief situation, and so just trying to get through, you know. You do the best you can. Some days are better than others. We had a birthday party for my husband. His birthday was April 2nd. And so we had a birthday party on April 1st. And got to get together with lots of friends and family. So that was really, really nice. And lots of people, you know, they all knew Elise, and, you know, gave us their condolences, and I, you know, got to talk about her a little bit, and, you know, tell some stories about her, and just, you know, generally kind of, you know, relive a little bit of the good times, and that was really nice. So, that was helpful, and I made it. I put on my waterproof mascara for sure, because I knew at the party somebody was going to ask me, somebody was going to talk to me about it, you know, and I just wanted to get through it, you know, without getting super upset. And so I did really well. A couple of times I almost teared up, but I didn't get all the way there, and that was nice. And it was just really nice to hear people talking about her, and, you know, expressing that they, you know, missed her and all those things. So, that was important to have that moment, you know, have those moments. Corey will leave in a couple of days here to go back home, which means I've had some requests about the website. It's been closed while we've been gone. You know, I don't like to take money when I can't actually actively fulfill y'all's orders. So the website has been closed for a little bit. I know, I'm sorry. but it will be open and he'll be fulfilling orders regularly like I do. He might not be quite as fast. I usually fulfill within a couple of hours of your guys' orders coming in, but you know, for him it might take a day or so. But you know, we don't believe in taking money and just sitting on orders forever. We fulfill really quickly, always. So, that being said, we will resume our regularly scheduled stuff pretty soon. And then I will have him, I'll be launching from the website over here with the earrings that you guys have been asking about since early spring. I guess technically winter because it's early spring now. I don't know. But soon we will get that all sorted out and get those on the website for you guys. Sorry, I'm looking for my snips. Where are my snips? Nothing is like in its place here where I want it to be. So that can be a little tricky. I gotta try to like remember where everything is, you know? Okay, so I went through and I just sewed two together all over the place, and then I'm gonna end up rearranging them anyway. I like how I laid all these out like I was really gonna take the time, you guys, to I mean, like, it's a bingo board. It's not. Some people made really cute stuff out of theirs, like a pot holder or a trivet or whatever, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm far too picky for that. So this is just like a fun, I'm hoping it will rejuvenate my sewing mojo a little bit. And so, sorry, I got a little pain over there from all this stuff that happens to me. There's a lot of nerves in your mouth. And I get these weird shooting pains. A lot of times it's where they gave me shots, and I had like 10 shots yesterday, so got a little twinge. Okay. Ooh. These aren't super painful, they're just really uncomfortable. So, okay. And then I know some quilters out there are probably gonna cringe. Like, I'm not even gonna bother to make my corners match up because, I mean, these squares are not cut perfectly anyway. So I don't think they were intended to be, and I can't imagine that the owner of that company is gonna spend hours and hours, you know, trying to make these perfect. Because she's trying to run a business. So, you know. If I were making a quilt, obviously I would cut these all on grain, and I'd be cutting them with a rotary and squaring them all up and pressing them as I go. All that good stuff. So I'm just gonna try to ignore the fact that I don't have an iron and I won't be pressing these. And my corners probably won't match up, and every time I play bingo with this thing, it's gonna make my eye twitch, and that's fine. I need to get over it. Because we're having fun, right? That's the whole point of this. We're having fun. We're not looking for perfection. We're just trying to have fun. There's one row. And so then, I do think I kind of screwed this up a little bit. I might need to unpick a couple of sets of these because I just kind of sewed them all together. I might be able to just rotate them and do it. We'll see. We shall see. Oh, goodness gracious. I am awfully tired, mostly because I had to sit sleeping upright last night. Whenever you have one of these procedures, they tell you that this procedure specifically, with your gums, they tell you that you have to sleep upright to keep blood flow at a minimum into these tissues. For one, it's just very painful if you don't. The first time I had this done months back, but it was to a much lesser degree. I did not know this, and I didn't follow, because I didn't know it. I slept flat, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and oh my God, you guys, it hurt so bad because I could feel like my pulse in my gums. It was so painful. And I looked up online trying to figure out what was going on, and it was because the pain meds had worn off, but also that's a thing, you have blood vessels and things there that they cut into, and you don't want blood flow in there. It will be painful. So and it was painful, so I figured that out pretty quick. And so this time I wanted to avoid that pain, but the other problem is, then you kind of can't sleep super well. So at least for me, I don't do well sleeping like that. So I did okay, but you get a little tired. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is just picking any random like 4 to assemble, and then I'm gonna have to go back and unpick some of these because I didn't think about it, and the way that I was chain piecing them, I guess I could be chain piecing these too, but I want to make sure I don't screw it up. The way that I chain pieced, I needed to leave myself some singles because it's not in rows of, it's a 5x5. So. Other people made theirs really cute. They put like binding on it, and they did, I don't know, all kinds of really cute stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna get that fancy. I'm just trying to get like my spark of whatever back at this point, to be totally honest with you. And I just thought maybe doing something like a little mindless sewing where I don't have to read a pattern or do anything might kind of help re-engage. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have to unpick these real quick. Good thing I used a longer seam allowance and I didn't even backstitch, so it'll be quick. Of course, it's uninterfaced though, so it's like hard to deal with this floppy material. I also need a pattern, y'all, for a desk trash can at home. I have like a little trash can that sits next to me. I need like a little hanging trash can because I don't want to throw my threads all over here in the bus. So I need a little trash can to catch all my little threads. I need a good pattern. I was at a quilt store. I found a local quilt store here, and obviously I'm away from home, so I thought, oh, I could explore some local quilt shops. And it was a cute one, truth be told. I got all excited. They had a Tula Pink section, and I went over there to the Tula Pink section, and it was completely empty. They had like 2 coordinates, and that was it, which I'm not surprised, but I thought maybe I got lucky. You gotta be lickety split lightning fingers ordering online to get Tula Pink. So I didn't end up buying any, but I looked through their patterns and I was looking for like cute, crafty organization patterns that are not bag patterns. And I wondered about, trying to look for cute stuff to make and just something to spark my interest. And I don't know if it was just that I'm so blah and my interest was not sparked, or if I just really didn't like any of the patterns, but I didn't end up buying anything. So, Tide containers work great for thread catchers. That's a cute idea, although I don't have Tide like that in here in the bus. I use powder, so I just have like the box, and then because it's the powder, I dump it out into a container so it's not messy, but that little container, it always has little stuff in it and it gets everywhere. So as soon as I dump it outside, and then that container goes right in the trash, because if you know, that little powder will get everywhere. But I do not have a Tide container otherwise. That's a good idea. I have like little cans, small ones, but that's not very big. I need like a kind of medium-ish, and then I have a knob right here on the side of the desk, and so it can hang off the little knob, right? And then it can just be easy peasy. Even at home, I don't throw my threads on the floor. I can't. I'm the one who has to clean it up. There's no cleaning fairy. I'm the cleaning fairy. So I try not to throw them. I have a little trash can, but it's like a medium, bathroom size, and I don't really have room in here for that. So something collapsible and flat would be nice. And I have seen really cute thread catcher patterns where you put like a thing underneath the machine here and then it hangs off the side. I just need to find the pattern. And I did not see one. That's not true. I saw one at what was that word? I was to say craft store, but then I went to say quilt store. I don't know. At the quilt store, I saw one, but it was shaped like a turtle. And like turtles are cute, but I'm not real into turtles, and I didn't want to do all that effort to make a turtle one when I don't really like turtles. So I was kind of like, okay, I don't need that. But something more simple, like a cute little, something cute. 1/4 of an inch seam allowance might have been a little ambitious on this because the squares aren't quite on grain, and then they're pretty small, so I might have really wonky squares. If I had done a bigger seam allowance, I'd probably be able to hide a little more that you can see like they're kind of off, but it's about fun, not perfection. Cindy says coffee containers. Coffee container would be good. I will have to find somebody who drinks coffee to give me a container like that. At home I use a percolator, but here on the bus for space reasons, and because we just owned it forever, I have a Keurig, so I just have those little pods. So I don't think that will work. They do come in a box, but then I don't know, it's just a box. I really need like a little one I can hang. And I saw you made the comment about the car ones. The only problem is I did actually think about that because I'm sitting right here next to the seat, but that's a really far reach, and there's no headrest. So I was like, oh, I could put it on the headrest. No, that's not going to work. So there's no headrest because they're like a captain's chair. So bully for that idea, I guess. Although I do need to make one of those trash cans to hang up there in the front because I am always working on stuff up there, and I always have little cast offs. I crochet while we drive. I also eat lots of snacks while we drive. I need to have a place to put all my snack wrappers. So that's also a thing that I need to contend with. But for this, I don't know. It's a really little knob that's here. It's like a little sticky outy knob on the desk. So I don't know how well that would work. Like, I have a trash can over in the kitchen. I could drag it over here, but that's such a big pain every time I sit and sew, and then, I gotta sit next to a big trash can full of kitchen trash, which I don't want to do that. So I need to just make like a little, I'm sure if I Googled, I will find a cute little crafty style something. That one turned out pretty good. The squares are pretty straight, like the line or whatever. Yeah, if I really was gonna get like crazy into this and be real specific, I'd line all these up on my mat with my rotary cutter and I'd cut them. I'm kind of considering doing that, but again, I'm really trying to not focus on perfection. I'm trying to have fun. If you guys can even hear it. This machine is so quiet. I have enjoyed using this machine so much since I got it. I've been on the journey for a straight stitch, semi-industrial machine for a while. I still have my domestic, I still have my industrial, all of which are at home, and I'll still use those primarily, but this I wanted to take to retreats. I wanted to take to bag making things. I wanted to, use it while we travel. And then sometimes, you just need a little more than your domestic and you don't want to use, the industrial, for whatever reason. Sometimes the industrial, at least mine, it's never really been too heavy, but sometimes it's just too much. I don't need to sit at that to, make an all cotton project like this. So the straight stitch machine, for a number of reasons, I really wanted it to travel. My domestic machine handles plenty, but that machine is very sentimental to me. And, I
did not want to, I don't want to travel with that. I want that to stay safe at home. I've talked about that machine a lot in the past, and so I don't want to keep just like telling the same stories over again, but on my previous lives I've kind of addressed that machine is really, really sentimental to me, and I don't want anything to happen to it. So that was another reason for, you know, trying to find something else, you know. Something I can travel with, something that would be good for bag retreats and mobile sewing. So I think I found it because I'm really happy with this one. And it's just so quiet and smooth. So, all good things. A couple little squares. It's actually gonna go this way, I think, but they did match up pretty good. Wash Your Hands asked, what machine am I working on? It looks like a Janome HD9. It is not a Janome HD9. It is an Elna EF1. Elna / Janome are sister companies. I don't know who owns who, but somebody owns somebody in that situation, and it is similar to an HD9, but it is not the HD9, and it's a much lower price point. But still a really, really good comparable machine. And if you like Janome's or the HD9, I would highly suggest looking at this. Plus it comes in super fun color. It also comes in white, but yeah, I really like it. Anyway, yeah, so I went and did bingo with her and her husband for the first time, and it's like that digital bingo, so you get like an iPad and it kind of does it for you, but then you also they do it where you also get the paper cards, so you play like 2 games at once. I don't know what I was doing. It was fun, but oh my gosh, it was it was intense. I was like, just get me whatever you're getting. I told her, I just gave her my card, and I was like, you just order me the boards, the games you're gonna play. None of us ended up winning, but it was still fun. We just hung out and had snacks and ate, and just kind of, it was real chill, and it was actually pretty fun. So I don't know, something to do if you're not opposed to that kind of thing. Like I said, I didn't win, but I really wasn't going to win. I just thought it would be fun to play and hang out, and it was. And we had a good time, and then of course, we got to hang and talk, and which is good because we don't get to see his cousin as often as we would like, but I really like her, and she and Corey are the same age, and they grew up together, so that was a fun time. I really enjoyed that. So, and yes, thank you. I really like the color of my machine too. I showed it earlier. It matches the color of my cam press. I love this color, like minty green pistachio kind of pastel, whatever you call this, mint, spearmint. Yeah, that family. I like those colors a lot. My sewing studio is actually a version of this color, but this was far too intense, so I took this color into the paint store, and I said, is there any way we can get this exact color tone just really dumbed down? And I did not know this. I don't know if you guys know this, but they can do the same color at a percentage. So they basically just take the exact same color formula and they put it into white at a lower percentage. So I took my business card in. This is one of my business colors. And I said, I really like this color, but I know if I paint the whole room this color, it's going to be a lot. But I want that same feeling. Like, what do you think I should do? And they told me, oh, well, we can do a percentage. So let's do, and I think they did 25%. They took the same color formula at 25%, put it into a white paint, and it was really, really light. And I thought, okay, well, it might be too light, but they can always add more. And I painted it. I painted a whole wall. And when you paint a whole wall, if you hold this color up to it, it almost looks white. But if you take this color away from it, it has this color, and it looks so good, you guys. And it's such a happy, like peaceful, nice color. So I got that splash of color without being super intrusive, because I love color, but like I can't handle chaos of color. I need like kind of subdued. And so I really admire people who have, gorgeous, fun, beautiful, spaces where they're like red and orange and blue and whatever. I can't handle that. It's fine for a moment, but like to try to create in it, and then that's actually one of the reasons I never really got super into quilting. Quilts are very chaos normally. You can make them however you want, but most of what I saw, it was really chaotic. You know, it was like this, like just blah, tons of color, and I can't do that. I need like, I can mix patterns, but they gotta be, you know, it's hard for me. This little project is okay because I don't really have to care about it, but if I were investing a bunch of time and money into a quilt, I couldn't do this. So that's a little tough for me. But anyway, I really love how my studio turned out. The idea that they had at the paint store was phenomenal, and so if you're kind of like me and you really want color, but you don't want to go crazy, maybe that's a good option for you. And yes, it is a very vintage color, very vintage vibes. This machine is I think Elna is a, don't quote me on this, I think they're a Swiss company. I know Bernina is. And so true to form, this machine is very like mechanical looking on the front. It's got that same kind of semi-industrial vibe, you know, that they all have in this family, but it's very like kind of cold and hard and metal. It reminds me of something like an appliance, like a home appliance from the 60s. And then the color combined, it's like, oh my gosh, it's totally up my alley because I love vintage old stuff, and I'm very into, you know, 50s and 60s things. And as soon as my husband saw it, he was like, oh yeah, that's totally up your alley. So, okay, so I've got these two, and then I think I will just attach them like, how do I want these to go? Okay, not like that, because then I've got all the same ones next to each other, but that's not so bad. Okay, I think I'll do it this way. So, anyway, I think I want to go, it's probably okay. Spare threads out of there. I don't know if I'm going to finish mine. So many people did cute things with theirs, and made it into like a pot holder or a trivet. I think somebody made an oven mitt out of their little Wingo squares. I don't think I'm going to do anything like that with mine, but I do kind of want to finish it on the back somehow. Finish it on the edges, but I don't think I have like any just spare cotton with me. So I might have to, I don't know, get creative. Actually, I could save this and turn it into a little thread catcher. That would be cute. That might be fun. Like use it, you know, quilted fabric. Okay, so the last one I have is gonna go, I think, down here, because if I put it up there, it's too much of the same colors in the same space. So, I think we'll do it like that. It's actually turning out better than I expected. Made pouches and quilts, and it would make a cute pouch. It would make a cute pouch. So funny, you know, I didn't really ever get into making quilts, but I use quilting and bag making all the time. Like anytime I can quilt, I am all about it. I love that quilted like feel of a, like look of a bag. I don't like them so quilty, like Vera Bradley quilted bags are pretty, but like that's not exactly my style. It's a little too much quilting. But I love like a good, if I have character fabric, I'll often quilt around the character or whatever, so it kind of hides, but it gives it a really cool look and a really good texture in your hand. Love doing that. I'm shocked at how well this is lining up, you guys. For me, like, not squaring up any of this and not doing that great a job, kind of just being really lazy about it, it's actually turning out really good. I just gotta figure out how to finish it. I wonder if I just kind of press open all the seams and maybe put some, what do you call it? Like, oh, I'm covered in threads from the shredding. If I press some felt on it, like, fusible felt, fusible fleece, when I say felt. And then, I don't know what I would do with the back though. Something. I think it turned out cute. See you later, have a fun walk. Anyway, so that's my little squares here. I will say, I need to press it open and clean it up, but yeah, I'm like shocked actually at how well most of my corners lined up. I have out of the entire bunch, I have 3 wonky corners, you guys. So that's really not so bad. And that's the worst one. But all the rest of them actually turned out pretty good. So for having it not be starched or interfaced or anything, that's better than I ever did with quilting, making actual quilts. And I've, really tried with my quilts, so. Anyway, Cindy, I'm sorry, earlier I think you asked about what was going on with my teeth, and I don't want to like rehash that whole thing because I've been talking about it and everybody's kind of heard it ad nauseum, so I'm not trying to be super repetitive, but I am here in Arizona having 8 weeks worth of dental procedures to correct a lot of really bad work that was done about 17 years ago. So really long story with that, but a poor choice was made on my behalf. I was still a child, and a poor choice was made on my behalf to take me to a dentist to have some cosmetic dentistry done to me that I really didn't need, nor should I have had. And yeah, it just was bad, and so I'm having it corrected, and it's taken this long to help me to find a dentist who can help me figure out what the problems are and how to fix them, because it's not only was the work not great when it was first done, but then over the years it's compounded, and my body has been like rejecting it and causing a lot of problems, and it's been very painful and very ugly. And luckily I'm able to hide a lot of it because it's up here underneath my lips, but if I even smile in a picture showing my teeth, you can see it, and it's painful, and the whole thing is just terrible. So it's taken a really long time to get it finally taken care of, and I found a dentist here through my in-laws actually that they've really vetted and they've been using, and so he's able to help me find the right specialist I need to go to, and he's able to do a lot of the procedures I need and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, so that's where it's at, and I'm here having it done. And so these top teeth, I'm not going to smile too big, but from here to here, these are actually all false. They are not my real teeth. That's why there's no spaces between them. There's a set here and a set here, and on Thursday I'll be going, and they'll be going back and doing more teeth and prepping those, and so I'll have new temporaries, and then after that I have to get semi-permanent temporaries, and it's going to be a very long road before I have complete finished work, because the first thing we had to do was undo a lot of the old work, and then there was a bit of a setback yesterday. One of the specialists I went to go see, you can go back and watch this video in the beginning because I explained the whole story, but he was an absolute jerk, and just not nice guy, and frankly not a very good doctor in my opinion, because somebody who has a bedside manner like that and who treats their patients that way, that's kind of a mess. So anyway, that's the latest update about what's been going on with me, but I have another procedure scheduled on Thursday, and yeah, this is just all very uncomfortable and annoying because it's not my own teeth, and they got these temporary things jammed up in there, and they're uncomfortable, and then every time I go in for a procedure, you have lingering effects each time, and you have to heal between all the procedures if they're cutting into me and doing different things. So dental work. But anyway, that's what's going on. So that's why earlier I was like, ooh, that kind of hurt. I got 10 shots or something up in my whatever yesterday, and I get these, I'm having kind of a weird twinge over here on the side again, but I kind of had one here at my upper lip, and it just happens, and it kind of a little electric kind of feeling. I don't know, it's uncomfortable. So looks like Susie from So Girly Fun joined us. Hi Susie, you called you called twice during my live earlier. I was laughing because I said she's gonna see this later, I bet, and I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because she keeps calling me. So anyway, yeah, I was live earlier when you called, so I'll call you back when I get off. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's kind of it for me for the end of the day here, you guys. I might keep sewing here, but I think I'm gonna get up and go walk around and see what my father-in-law and my husband are up to. And I gotta go take some more medicine because I'm starting to get to the point where I can feel all this again. So anyway, but it was very, very fun hanging out with all of you guys. And once again, if you want to play Wingo, head over to Susie said, sorry, it's totally fine. How were you supposed to know? But anyway, I'll call you when I get off here. Anyway, if you want to participate in Wingo or you're interested in any of these fabrics that are here, they are all from My Little Shindig. This is the name there on the sticker, mylittleshindig.com. And you can purchase a Wingo kit for the spring Wingos. And then, anyway, yeah, you can either get the fabric or you can get the kit. And then she'll, like I said, send you the dates for the Wingos. And I don't even know if it's on Facebook or YouTube, but it's one of the two. She does it live, and I've been promised that it will be a very, very good time. So I'm very excited to participate, and I will be hopefully participating in it live at the Sewcation where she is doing that. So anyway, thank you all for keeping me company today. It was really nice to chat with you, and given that I'm going in for another procedure tomorrow, that's going to be a lot. I probably will not see you guys until next week, but I do have a lot of fun patterns I would like to sew. And now that I got my camera mount all set up and I have my bearings about me a little bit more, I think it'll be fun to sew some of those. And I think I also, one of the kits that I pre-cut myself, I screwed up. And so I have the fabric all prepped and I have it, and it's a big piece, and so I'm going to reuse it, and I think I'm going to cut it and make some wallets. So that might be the next thing I sew, because for some reason I'm on this kick where like I want to make wallets. So anyway, might do that, might not, I don't know, we'll see. And I need to use it somehow, but I have some other patterns too that will be really fun to do, and there's specifically a bag stock pattern, the Aria crossbody, that I want to do. So if you're at all interested in that pattern, it's Bagstock, BAGSTOCK.com. Bagstock Designs, I think is what it is actually. But anyway, Bagstock bags. It's the Aria crossbody. I have one of those cut and prepped, and I'm really excited to sew that one too. So hopefully I got my Sojo back a little bit. Yeah, Mickey, So Girly Fun just said it's bingo, but it's with fabric squares. So you buy the kit that I just sewed together. It comes, she sent me a cute little sticker. She sends you 26 fabric squares. You leave one out, so you get to pick whichever one you leave out and how you assemble it, and this becomes your bingo board. So everybody's bingo board, you know, is a little bit different, because everyone assembles theirs a different way. And then, you know, she sends it in this little kit, and she sent me a super cute sticker, and then she sends you kind of all the little info on here about what you're supposed to do with it in your kit and the dates of all of that. So and here's my invoice, but it doesn't say the price on here, so I don't know, I don't remember what it was, but I think it was $10 for the kit, and you get 3 of them have already gone up now. So but you know, you get to assemble your own fun board, and then it's also a really good way to get to touch and see her fabric art, which the fabric is really nice, and I do like a lot of the art. So all of this is from her, I believe. So that's covered in threads. That's a good thing too. And then, you know, you just get to have a fun time with other people. So anyway, yeah, I think you're correct. I think you're correct, Susie. I think that it is $10. That sounds right. And then it shipped really quick. So if there are any available, like I said, I would definitely go on her website and snag some. I've been trying for a while, and then finally I saw her announce, oh, there's some available. And so I jumped on there like 5 or 6 days ago, and I ordered one, and it came pretty quick. And so yeah, that made my crappy day yesterday a lot better to be able to have this, and then just to sew something nice. So anyway, well, all right, y'all. I am gonna hop off. I'm gonna go get some other stuff done, and thanks for keeping me company. And Susie, I will call you back. So anyway, yeah, you're very welcome, Mickey. I will see you hopefully on the next live. I'll see the rest of you guys as well. Have a good day. Bye.